hey there. You must be here for my interpretive dancing. Oh, well, I guess we'll just have to do science instead. Now, walk this way. Well, better get ready. Huh. All right, come. So, what I was thinking about doing here today is melting some chocolate. So, what we have here, we got ourselves a nice little pot with a metal bowl. We're gonna make ourselves a makeshift double boiler. I got myself some chocolate that I've conveniently frozen a thermometer into so that we can check its temperature. I have here a timer and my digital thermometer. And what we're gonna try to do is see what temperature our chocolate gets to while we're cooking it. All right, well, let's get us started. First, we're going to put a little bit of water in here. Now, we're going to start letting it boil. Ooh-wee, that was quick. Well, guess we better get started. What we're going to do is we're going to get our little metal bowl on top there. What I'm going to preemptively do is I've set up a phone so I can record the timer so I can conveniently check my temperatures and time following this so that I can get myself going with a fancy graph. Oh, that's a picture is what that is. Don't want those. All right. Now we're going to get our chocolate in here. And now I'm just going to carefully make sure that she heats up and it all starts to melt. So the idea is that when something is melting, it typically and should get to its melting point, which we have learned in Chapter 11 of our Chemistry 1050 class. So once it reaches its melting point, ideally the temperature should remain somewhat constant, and then it will start heating up further once it's melted. Now, given the materials that I have, the thermometer and the lack of constant heat through the entire surface might affect some of the points that I have, but ideally we should get at least a proper looking graph once I plot it. Now, since this is all hot, you gotta make sure that you use an oven mitt for safety. So, the melting point of chocolate is typically between 30 and 40 degrees Celsius. Different types of chocolate have different boiling points, as well as different types of melting chocolate that you could use. Alright, so this chocolate here, she's almost completely melted. So at this point, I should start seeing the temperature rise a little bit more than the 30 to 40 that I was seeing while we were cooking it. we're going to keep this going so I can get a good plot on my graph. Once I'm done melting the chocolate, I'm going to put this into a D20 dice mold that I have so that I can have a cool piece of chocolate. We're just going to carefully get this into the mold. Mmm. Yummy. Mmm. 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 Whew. For science. Clean, clean, clean. Whew. All right, well. I didn't see you there. Oh. Well, now that we did that first part, what we're going to do is review my video, and I'm going to mark down the temperature every 5 seconds. I'll see you back here in a minute. Well, now that I've plotted all my data, looks like we got ourselves a bit of a graph. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to analyze our different parts of this graph and see if we can't get some good results. So what I'm going to do here is this part that looks to be generally pretty flat, we're going to take the average of these units here. And we're going to do a linear fit. And this is going to tell us our slope, which hopefully, within our uncertainty, is going to be in agreement with 0, which is what we would expect, since all the energy from the heat is being used to actually melt the chocolate. As we can see here as well, the y-intercept of our slope, plus or minus 3 units, is approximately 30 degrees Celsius, which is just as we would expect for the melting of chocolate. Now, as we can see in this part of the graph, that this slope, however, for me it means nothing. I can see it is increasing, which would make sense since this is when the chocolate was fully melted. Other than that, looks like this science was delicious. Alright, well, looks like I just have a couple thanks to give. Thank you, Professor Travis Frigden, for teaching me everything I need to know about chemistry and the fun of science this semester, as well as Naman for being my excellent videographer. Other than that, it looks like our business has been concluded. Until next time.